Well, let's cross over live now to Dubai. We can speak to Richard Upshall, an entrepreneur who lives there, and he was actually at the Address Hotel when this fire broke out. He joins us via webcam. Richard, so you had an incredibly lucky escape. Tell us what happened to you.
Yes, well, we were on the 6th floor in a restaurant in the Address, which was actually the same side that was engulfed with flames around 10 o'clock. Local time here, eating dinner out on the terrace. There were some people in the garden about 3 stories below us who started pointing up above our head, and we could vaguely see some whiffs of smoke and some what looked like reflection of flames or something. And because it's New Year's Eve, we naturally thought maybe it was part of the celebrations, perhaps a precursor to the fireworks that were going to happen directly opposite where we were. When the people 3 stories below us started screaming and running away, and bits of debris started to fall, initially just small pieces, we obviously realised that perhaps things weren't going quite to plan. And then a large piece of debris landed in the garden and basically took out a set of garden furniture in flames. And I grabbed hold of my friend and said, "We're going." And we fairly calmly walked back through the restaurant where the people were dining like there was nothing going on. There were no fire alarms, there were no fire marshals, and we walked through the restaurant, down a staircase, watching a guy trying to set off the fire alarm, which didn't appear to work. And we went all the way through the lobby and out to the front valet parking area of the hotel. Turned to have a look behind us and saw flames licking around the side of the building, at which point we then made our way down the ramp as other people started to come out. I have heard about pandemonium. I would say it was that maybe towards the end of the people coming out, it got a bit more raucous, but it was fairly controlled. But there was a distinct absence of fire marshals or anybody really telling anybody what to do until probably a fair few minutes into whatever was happening. As we came around the side of the hotel, we could blatantly see that the hotel appeared to be on fire, although all the lights were on, there were no sprinklers in action, and it did appear that the fire was going up the outside, up and down the outside of the hotel, fanned by the light breeze that was blowing that night. The reports of it going through the hotel, from my experience and what I saw, seemed to be exaggerated. It seemed to be on the outside, consuming all of the patio furniture, the awnings and so on. And it was very intense, but not for particularly long. And indeed, some of the footage I've seen afterwards does kind of bear that out.
It's interesting that you make the point that it was on the outside, which I guess would explain why there were so few injuries, given the intensity of the blaze that we saw outside the building.
Yeah, I mean, the intensity of what I've seen on the video and what we actually saw in person, you're absolutely right. But all the smoke billowing off the building was coming off the building rather than out of the building. In Dubai, because largely everything's air-conditioned, windows and sliding doors and so forth tend to be shut. And I think this contributed to the fact, although I have no doubt some parts of the interior were affected, the fire did come under control fairly quickly, within an hour or so. Indeed, as we were leaving the downtown area, which we decided to do simply because we didn't know what was going on, and it just wasn't worth the risk in case it was the precursor to some more substantial action by somebody. But as we were leaving, a little over an hour later, the fire was out and it was just smoke billowing up the side of the building.
And Richard, you say that there was a lack of fire marshals, a lack of information, but overall, people were organised in the way they evacuated that building.
Basically, what helped was the fact that the Dubai authorities had shut all the roads down in the area, so people could spill quite easily out of the hotel, down the sort of major ramp, and out into the streets, and then away either side. Whilst there was a distinct lack in the hotel, once we actually got out on the streets, there were police and security ushering people away, and they were starting to arrive. It did seem to take the fire department quite a long time to get there, considering that they were littered all around the area for the event that evening. And they didn't quite seem sure where to go or how to tackle the issue. And of course, the barricades didn't help matters either. But I do feel that perhaps Dubai had a bit of a lucky escape in that the fire was largely on the outside of the building, which is what's contributed to the minimising of casualties. There were people out in the streets in their pyjamas, dressing gowns, as well as obviously in event wear as well. Another fortunate thing was that particular area doesn't have thousands of people immediately around it. Most of the viewing areas were the other side of the lake, well away from the Address Hotel. And I really do think that everybody's had a lucky escape.
Richard, thank you so much for sharing your lucky escape with us here on BBC World News. Richard Upshall, who was actually having dinner at the Address Hotel, the one that caught fire so dramatically. Lots more on that fire on our website. Just visit the bbc.com/news website. We will continue to monitor events for you. But of course, that fire now very much under control with everybody out.